Hello, welcome to OVUETA. I am Theo Akatugba. There's a popular mantra which says, justice delayed is justice denied. A legal practitioner has accused Nigerian judiciary of delaying justice, thereby frustrating the masses that seeks justice. He also believes that the Nigerian politician is without principles because they jump from one party to the other without any ideological basis. I have with me on OVUETA today Felix Agbonronfor, a barrister who has practiced for 19 years and more. Having spent most of his years in Lagos, Nigeria, was called to bar in 1995. My guest on OVUETA today to do justice to some of these contending issues is Barrister Felix Agbonronfor. Join me now. Barrister Felix Agbonronfor, welcome to OVUETA.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to have you here. You believe that justice delayed is justice denied, and you say that the Nigerian judiciary seems to suffer from the fact that there is too much delay in justice. Why did you come to this conclusion?
Well, the reality is that the indices are there. Cases take too long for decisions or judgments to be reached. And that has eroded the confidence of many Nigerians in the judiciary.
Eroded the confidence of many Nigerians. You know the population of Nigeria is heavy. The number of cases are many. The judges are using longhand. How come you blame the judiciary for problems that are obvious?
Even in Lagos State, where there's electronic recording, cases still delay. The delay in cases is just more than the judges recording in longhand. There are multiple factors for causing delay. And the blame is not just only on the judiciary, but the other stakeholders. You have the bar, the lawyers. You also have the non-judicial staff. So the many all the stakeholders.
On whose table do you put this blame squarely?
It has to be shared on the three stakeholders.
If you share it among them, where do we start to solve the problem?
There have to be a holistic approach to solving the problem. All stakeholders are ministers in the Temple of Justice, and they must up their game.
Holistic.
Yes.
Sometimes when they use that word in Nigeria, it means there's not going to be a solution.
No, we can't run away from doing the right thing. So the right thing is that there must be a holistic situation.
That statement does not provide the way forward. Holistic means we stop. Yes, that's why we're talking.
Yeah, we should all play our roles.
You've been in the bar for more than 19 years. You've been practicing most of it in Benin and in Lagos. Yes. You found out that the judiciary seems to delay justice, and that has made people to lose confidence. There is no alternative.
No, we have to start. We have to x-ray the challenges and why we have come to that ugly situation where justice is delayed. First of all, if we take it from the area of the bar, like the lawyers now, you'll find out that there are even some cases that ought not to even come to court, which can be resolved amicably. And even when we do come to court, some lawyers are not prepared to prosecute their matters diligently.
But these are not other issues. A judge should read the body language and take decisions. Number one, how can you tell an aggrieved not to go to court? In spite of your advice as a lawyer, I want you to go to court. I'm paying for it.
Well, as I said, we are ministers in the Temple of Justice. And if you feel that a case should not go to court, it's not everything about money. You should advise your client. And if he declines your advice, then you should look for another lawyer.
But this lawyer needs money to survive, needs clients to... In a country where you have so many lawyers, you won't trifle with the consultation or employment of a client.
You hold the brief. You decide the best way forward in a matter. And that is why you are being paid, to give professional advice.
But some lawyers they'll tell you, no, Mr. Agbonronfor, that is not how it goes. This man is willing to pay good money, and you're telling me to let him look for another lawyer?
Now, we're talking of ethics here. So if you are to be ethical as a lawyer, you will do the right thing. I will not succumb to pressures from clients.
What's that?
Ethics, there are norms that are governing the profession. As I mentioned, first of all, we are ministers in the temple of justice. So the overall aim in every situation should be how to achieve justice and not how to make money. So a lawyer is primarily to ensure that the end of justice is served.
So what a lawyer will tell you that, yes, indeed, this is true, but this man feel aggrieved. I have persuaded him, he still insists that I go to court. In this case, the lawyer cannot be blamed.
If you believe that the best course of action is not to go to court, you give him that advice. And if he still insists on going to court, you ask him to find another lawyer. Because if you go to court, it means you are going against your own professional judgment.
Barrister, you talk about Lagos. There's been a lot of reforms. Can you tell me what you feel or what your take or how these reforms have affected the judiciary in Lagos, for example?
Well, to the extent that matters are still being delayed, because the essence of the reform was to ensure expeditious dispensation of justice. But we are not getting it. So it therefore means that what is even more important is the human element. That's why I said the stakeholders must up their game. What is the essence of having rules that are not being taken advantage of? Rules will not implement themselves. So the stakeholders will have to implement the rules.
Therefore, it can safely be said in this discussion that the Nigerian judiciary, Lagos State as a case study, is doing about how many percentage of justice delivery?
We can't put it in that perspective.
But then we should be able to give a scorecard.
Well, to the extent that justice gets done at the end of the day, we can say about 50%.
We asked the judges.
I'm talking of efficiency.
But the judges say that the lawyers are mischievous. They do not allow these cases to go. For example, this case of Cynthia that was murdered in Festac is still on. It's not even been heard. And the judge is angry because even the lawyer that is standing for the defendant said he's gone for a eye clinic.
But that is why I mentioned that all stakeholders will have to up their game. Yes, we know that there are some unscrupulous and unethical lawyers, but you can't lay the blame solely on lawyers. Even among the judges, some of them are lazy. So
it means, therefore, it's a Nigerian epidemic of not allowing anything to function the way it should be. Is that a culture that has evolved in Nigeria?
Well, judiciary administration of justice is part of the Nigerian situation. To the extent that the Nigerian society itself is in need of transformation. So also the judiciary and the administration of justice, we need to make it better. We are not where we ought to be.
I take something there. Nigerian society need transformation. Is it the society or the Nigerian individual?
The individuals make up the society. So when you talk of transforming the society, it must involve the individuals.
You mean, is there anything being done? There seems to be transformation of society, the cities, the beautiful buildings, the beautiful cars on the street, and all kinds of things are being done, rail lines are being put together. But the people, you mentioned the people, what can be done about the people?
The railways that you mentioned, the roads, the cities, they not just come about by themselves. Individuals have to put effort. Let's take an example with the recent Ebola crisis. We saw a focused government, both the federal, Lagos State government, and even in Rivers State, collaborating to ensure the eradication of that disease in Nigeria. That is the kind of Nigerian spirit and patriotism we want in every sphere of Nigerian life.
In Ebola, there seems not to be benefits. It's only debt and debt and debt. So there's no room for benefit. Even if you want to make money there, the Ebola could catch up with you. So before you get to the bank with the loot, you would have died. And so people thought that Nigerians were more afraid of debt than looting their treasury.
Well, to the extent that the first right really is the right to life, and that is the first thing people try to preserve. Yes, you will say they showed a lot of seriousness, but that is an indication that if we take other aspects of our national life seriously, that we move forward. So if we are interested in administering justice in an expeditious manner, we all hands have to be on deck.
Foreign investors say that why they dread Nigeria is because when one offends you or your contract is breached, you don't find justice in Nigerian courts. The judges, the lawyers, they trade with justice. Foreign investors cry out. What do you have to say as a lawyer?
I will say that is very, very speculative. If that is true, why is it that they keep on coming into the country?
They use the word keep on coming. Many people do not come. Few come.
Not
Nigeria
few.
could have gotten better. If you say few are coming and you think that represents a whole, imagine there is quick dispensation of justice, security of lives and property, good electricity. Imagine you have 100 investors, you will be having 10,000.
That's why we say we still have a lot to do to get to where we want to be. But it's not as if nothing is happening.
But Barrister, that is always a very quick word and an easy way. We still have a lot to do. We still have a lot to do. What in specific terms is being done
You just mentioned some indices now of transformation. You mentioned the rail lines that are coming back. Roads are being renovated and repaired.
What I only mentioned that in relation to the individual that has been left unbuilt. I didn't say that is an indices that has been development. I said to you that you are developing, transforming in some areas, but you mentioned that the individual is a problem. That's why the judiciary is in this state. And so this is the reason why I mentioned rail, not to say that there's some credit to be given.
They have to be credit because, as I mentioned, the railways did not just come about.
That is not delivering justice.
I never said the judiciary is not delivering justice.
Not
I said
justice.
not expeditiously as it ought to
And
be.
I said prefer solutions.
And that's why I said the stakeholders.
If you say,
you can't run away from the fact. Like, for instance, if you take the lawyers, they have to be professional in their attitude. I've mentioned that not all cases are supposed to come to court. So if a client comes to you, you review a matter, and if it's a matter that should not go to court, you advise him accordingly. I give you an instance. Of a simple debt recovery matter, your client has borrowed money from the bank, he has not paid, the bank has sued him, you want to defend your client. The first advice you should give professionally, after you have reviewed it and the client has admitted to you that he's indebted, is to advise your client to go and pay. Even when you go to court, we don't expect that you'll be filing frivolous applications in the court, but you seek...
You are dealing with a human issue. A lawyer has been paid well. He's got to do some technical criminality or crookedness.
That is very, very unprofessional.
See today, in Adamawa State, there are lawyers on both sides. One seeking to keep the illegal governor and the other one seeking to put back the governor the deputy governor that has been sacked or who did not resign properly. There is always someone on both sides of it.
In fact, Adamawa State is an ideal situation of quick dispensation of justice.
Absolutely.
Because you find out that in how many weeks or months we have got a decision, and the so-called speaker has been removed.
But I ask you a question. The military had a mutiny, and within few days, the people justice is done, people are sentenced to death. Why can't the Nigerian judiciary, so-called educated, intelligent, the hope of the masses, cannot deliver justice in a short while? But when it comes to life of people, within few days, justice and the
you must understand that the military circle, they have a general court martial who handle those issues. Maybe the kind of technical procedures that you have in the courts do not apply in such cases. In the regular courts, we have a lot of procedures, beginning from filing of matters.
Do you think they are necessary?
Well, that's the area we also need to look at, because these rules are there, but we expect that those who use these tools must use them in such a way as to ensure justice is being done. Not for you to abuse the process.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not abuse the process. Processes must be improved, so says Felix Agbonronfor, my guest today on OVUETA. We'll be right back after this time out.